Galatians chapter 1 verse 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. Let me read from the King James Version translation. For I astonished that you are so quickly deserting from him who called you in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. Not that there is another gospel, but there are some who trouble you and would pervert or distort the gospel of Christ. Kalatia na kanawa sindua na tigine ono, kei na tigina ibitu. Walu dhiwa na gaisiro sombukena. Watingo na malani wose tu na Paula, au kurambui. Do sabu kitani baka tolo bakaungo, kinando tani tale na kospeli ni tugu binaka. Do wasananda kuikoya, kakadibike mundo e nalolo mawalenga. Tigino sombera, tigina ibitu, galila buta sombokoya. Not that there is another one, but there be some who trouble you. Senganindo tani tale na kospeli, so nga rabia baka rarawa tagi ke mundo. E rabia baka tani tagatiko na kospeli ni tugu binaka. Tudingo na itugu mimingo lenga kino Kalatia. The message directly written for Galatians church. There is a problem. They turn away from the truth. They turn away from the grace of Christ unto another gospel. Rabukitani maiba na kospelindina kay Kristo. So radawiriti ko na beiba rarautaki. Some are troubling people around. Some are troubling the church. Some are troubling the followers of Christ. They twist the gospel. They put additional to the gospel of Christ. Rabagay kuritagati ko na kospeli kay Kristo. Tugu ebonga tukani weekend me baga rata nambula na mate taubi Kalatia me ungara una baga binakan jana ngai taubi utalanga. Songo lotu ibiti, songo lotu na besa iburo tadoko. Ndabo tigongo, it was written for our admonition upon whom the ends of the world are coming. Tugu ebola pola be cornida. Kake de sabola tigongo me baga numi weekenda. Sambolo be iko batake yaun, darumbulo dono baga ni wotu tiningauna. Na bukitani mayado. Dhuruma ndo na kospeli dala, baga raraotaka na yango ni tamata. Baga raraotaka me baga mbombulo taka na tamata. May baga kuritaki na kospeli ndi na kay Kristo. Dona malanibo sa dabuti tiko na tiginongo, ono tumikali stale, who hath called you by the grace of Christ. You have left him. God himself called us by his grace. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8. For by grace you are saved through faith, not of ourselves. It is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Loloma walenga enda bagambula ikina ena buguni bagambauta. Sa sangani buna ko ikemundo. Sa soli wale me buana kalau. Ka sangani buni nonda daga me ka kokin lindo me ndonda kai koya. Ana itukutuku na grace of Christ, meaning you are not supposed to work for it. Sinundo mo daga taka. The grace of Christ was given for us. We are saved through faith. Ngandrebi mo na ka pa sa iko ni bagambauta. Kadingoma ena bagambauta nanra ko tulu may kalibari. Kospelindi nango. May lengo Kalatia ni dhuruma ndo na kospeli. Vedalati me may bagararaota ka ng bulan ni tamata. Tiyo na sumbara. Next verse. Verse 8. But even if we or an angel from heaven should preach to you a gospel contrary to the one we preach to you, let him be accursed. Kendua tani tamata sendo tani sarna angelosi. May bunota ka indua tani na kospeli. Ni tuku binaka. Kasengani baka kito abunota ka medun rubi na tamata ngori se medun rubi na angelosi ngori. As we have said before, so now I say again, if anyone is preaching to you the gospel contrary to the one you have received, let him be accursed. Au na kaitale bagandua, kendua tale na tamata ibuno tagati kendua tani na kospeli. Singani baka na kospeli roto buno tagana ya apostolo. Medun rubi. Tadingo e barita ka chikongo. clearly indicate to us there is a curse that will fall upon those that are preaching the wrong gospel. And adun rubi, o ira e rabuno tagatiko na gospel dala. Se tamata, se maniangilo si saranga. Kasamutando na malani bosa da buto pola. I can still remember the same verse that I used during my last time of preaching. In 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14 and 15. Labuto tiko Paulo na tini ka baga na tini ka lima. Ni rasa ya apostolo bagala so rasa bakaongo. They are false apostles, deceitful workers. They are transforming themselves unto apostles of Christ. If you read through 2 Corinthians chapter 11, you will find out Paul says in verse 5, 6, and 7, am I committing offense in abasing myself that I preach to you the gospel of Christ freely? Dalambaga na kau kawa? Ni wabuno tagabi kemundo na gospel ki Kristo nga usanga ni saumikina? Sandu sietiko ya vi ira rabuno tagatiko era saumitiko na nandradavaka ira sa apostolo bagelasu. For those that are preaching the gospel and collecting money out of it, being paid out of it, they are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves to the apostles of Christ. Paul in that same chapter, he reminded Corinthians, I want to uproot this out of the land. Me dabu ibubuta ki manandela ningele o ira era bati ko ngono non rabinga rabi. Era buno tagatio na gospel era so mitiko kina. You're not supposed to be paid. And verse 15 he said, no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Sega ni kabi ba kurumbitaki, ni na baka matale tiki ko Satan me angelo siniraram. Yana buni me baka na numingo polo be klatia. If it is an angel from heaven or any man preach any other gospel contrary to the one that we preach, let that person be accursed. Tamatang rimeno don rubi. Angelo singo rimeno don rubi. Kibara sindondo no mendana kurambui. Sorakati ko ni ko ni lutu me lomalangi, sorakati ko ni ko retalai me lomalangi. Sorakani raida na vise ni vosabir na angelosi. En rabana tutungo sabeda la tira gospel e bunotaki. Singana lebeto chisu garo no bagabenaka. Paulo bi korni da bagatake kila mark that person. That must be one of the false apostles, deceitful workers. They are transforming themselves to be the apostles of Christ. Move down to the book of Galatians chapter 1. And in verse 10, for am I now seeking the approval of men or God? Or am I trying to please men? If I was still trying to please men, I would not be the servant of Christ. O de me wagalama binagataka. Na tamata sa nakalo. Siya sangati ko merabina katya na tamata. I want people to please them. Lenga ni Cornida, the problem with the Corinthian, outstanding here. Problem of pleasing other people. They never talk straight, they never speak straight. They are just pleasing them accordingly with whatever gospel they preach. Paul into sitting go, whom shall I be pleased? Shall I please men or God? I'm not going to be the servant of Christ. And he reminded Galatians, let all of us be reminded by this same verse, verse 11. For I would have you know, brothers, that the gospel that was preached by me is not after man. Neither I was taught it of man, but by the revelations of Jesus Christ. Na gospel ubuno taga tigongo se kito ubuno taga ni apostolo asenga ni kito bulila mai boy ndona tamata kito senga ni baka tabuli kina mai boy ndona tamata sa ndona University ni Bible College. No, it was by the revelations of Jesus Christ himself. Babale sulia nga na kalo sulia nga na Kristo virato rabanga nga na isireli na ngona yang berterto senga ni buli senga ni baka matani bola kaindo ngangana chiu rabanga rawir ni baga takel kila kai Chris rabanga rana matani bola. But they continue preaching Christ crucified. Unto the Jews become a stumbling block, to the Greeks becomes foolishness. What about you today? What about you kunikoa? Gospel of Christ, you cannot add anything else apart from just believing the cross of Christ. Bagambau tondondua na lube ni kalo kome bako na kobilate na bukumu kena bukungu asa tu da getale gorna indola ni matani katoma ni mbula ta mundo sani ndona mo somo kene ndona ka ono ga taraba ko malo weekenda na viso ni matambete sa viso woti sa tukono woti tiko sa viso na matambete vinga rabi na lama ni balatamu sa woti matambete ne libo sa woti sa me da kabo ko na daga ni sa samaki sa pangalala ta ndona matambete ni sanga ni mita na stand da bina kata na kala sa lebo be ko itu ni ko na kalatia na lenga ni kalatia me ngara uno sa ya tiko kina na lenga e burubura e viti e na ngauno ni ko sickness acts covering the land, covering the churches. Bula ni tamata kina mata bubale sa ya na bukitani sa na sukai muri tamata singa ni bagambau tiko na gospel ke Kristo ni atukuni na madhi una kana wasetini ya bertone tisepeli do rawato wale na kospeli do sule wale vero na tomata pakrogo to take kenda bata na turanga na bossa vonga be kenda na singa binagande dai amen.